going to talk to you about white facts in mathematics. Does anyone of you already did this one? Okay. So it's brand new. Okay. So the reason I first started with this curriculum in particular was because it's Montessori based. And Montessori is all hands-on games. There's tons of manipulatives. And for me, where I'm more of a language art mom than math, I learn through games, and I'm really actually reviewing my concepts with them through all of those games. So what's a little different, so it's been made by a math teacher who also is a Montessori certified teacher. So what's a little different is it's not by age, it's by level. So like if you, let's say next year you want to start, you have to do a little test for your kid, and they will tell you, they will tell you, well, you're probably level B or C. So it's not by age, but it goes through a progression from A, roughly kindergarten or pre-K even, through F, which is right before the end of secondary, so before high school. So you can do that for a number of years. So the way it's set up, so the first year you get your thing, it comes with a whole, you get your kit, and it comes with all of the manipulatives you're going to use for all of the years, which is great because you don't have to buy everything every year. Every year you just, well, depending how fast you go, you need your workbook and your lesson book and then your worksheets. Then you set up. This is a lot of lesson in a year. So you had it, there's 39 lessons. So they're kind of hoping that you would do about 5 lessons a week. But me being a little butterfly going through curriculum, I'm also using the Oak Meadow curriculum, which is Steiner based, and it's tons of stories. You learn math through stories. So the little squirrel is putting 2 nuts in his holes, and it is adding 2 nuts in the next hole, and it's really cute. And the kids have to draw the squirrels and the nuts. And so I like to combine. So for me, there's no way I can go through that in a whole year, because when you do the lesson, you have to sit down with your kid. And it takes about 25 minutes, 30. In fact, it's kind of depends on how much fun the kid is having with the game, because every lesson ends with 1 or 2 card games. 1 hour doing multiplication, and we have tons of card games. I'll give you an example. But the lesson is set up that you always start with a warm-up. So right now it's a lot of mental math of concepts we have seen recently. And we work a lot with the abacus. I don't know about if you're familiar with using the abacus. Are you? Not really?
So learn, because I did this for a few years with my kids.
I didn't grow up using that, and I'm like, well, that's the old Chinese thing, and but it's really fun, and it's very visual. Like you can actually learn the times table through with the abacus, and you can flip to side B, and you can actually go into the 1,000 numbers. So on side A, every bit is a 1. So visually, you see this is 5, and the kids learn to have this, it has a name, like a visual memory. Like when you say 5, you don't need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You learn this is 5. Then you learn 1 line is 10. And so when, like, example, like that, so you reset this way. So let's say I'm learning my times table 5. Well, so I'm saying 5 taken 1, like taken 1 time. 5 taken 2, and it's 10 because you don't, well, times table 5 is kind of easy for everybody, but just to visually, this is 10. And then when you get to times table 5, well, the kid has already learned that all of this is 25, because there's 100 beats in the whole frame here. So it's just build your visual memory. And in the end, like my kid is, so I have 2 boys, 4th grade and 2nd grade. I've really been with my youngest since the start. Actually, I was doing the 2 boys, so they are 2 years apart. My youngest was following us from the beginning. So he skipped a few things, but his mental math is amazing. And I'm putting it all on this curriculum because it's a ton of, you review a lot. So maybe you don't jump from concept to concept. It's really slow, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should skip that lesson, but it actually reinforces the concepts. And it's just amazing how And I haven't had that with my youngest because I did more of Milo. And maybe it's because he's just like, he gets it, but like his times table, I mean, it's just effortless. Like he can skip counts. Like this week, we just introduced times table, it's times table 7, and he just skimmed right through. And I think he has visual memory of the abacus and of all the games we're doing. So, another example. So all the cards, so you have times table 4 here with all the numbers. So first they have to put them in the right order to learn how to skip count by 4. And then we do a memory. So let's see, it doesn't matter which, so maybe sometime we do, actually I should say that sometime even my boy in 4th grade, I say, hey, come and do a game with us. So he does his little lesson independently, and then he joins us and we do the games together. Because for him, I don't feel like I'm losing time reviewing times table 8 or 4 because he still needs to practice. So I'm not losing, I don't feel like I'm losing time. So like a little memory game, you would mix up your timetable 4 with your timetable 8, and then you lay it out. And the game is like my oldest is on timetable 8, my youngest is on timetable 4. They have to rebuild the timetable 4 or 8 in the right order. And the first one who gets all his 10 cards wins the game. So I'm trying to have them not, competitive. I tell them, for me, it doesn't matter who wins, guys. It's you learn something here, but they don't always get it that way. My youngest especially just throw the card and cry, like it's okay, but
Good at the end of the lesson.
yeah, and he actually, it's fun that we end with card game because they anticipate that and they're like, cool, we're gonna do card game, and they don't even know they're actually learning concepts. I like this one, the corner card games. So you have it goes by colors and numbers. You have to make either 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 points, and by combining them. So let's see if I have a drawing. You can put blue, green, and tan green. They need to be the same color. So you can put them like that, and you got 20. So when they score, you don't score, you have to do it in your head. So if you make your 20 first, you write 20. And then if the next turn you make a 15 with your cards, they don't write down, 20, or they don't add 15 underneath. They just cross out the 20, and then, okay, now it's 35. And I mean, it's just one, I mean, I feel like, it seems kind of completely basic to do that, but it just works at mental math. And my youngest, I mean, honestly, well, I'm not that great at math, but he just counts just as fast as me. And like it just it's not in this curriculum, but do any of you play dart games? I think dart games is the best math game in the history. Because like let's say you do the 200. Well, you have your 3 darts. It introduces, like if you do a 20, well, this is kind of weird, but you get if you do the 20 in the little slots that is multiplied by 3, you get either multiplied by 3 or 2, right? Well, bam, you have to do 20 times 3, and so that's an easy one. But you have all the other numbers from 1 to 20, and then you have to score this big score. And you have 3 dots, and they have to do that all in their head. I don't let them write down anything, so they have to multiply sometimes the same dot, add it to second dot, third dot, and then write down. And then on the next score, I don't tell them write down like you did a 45. They need to do it in their head, cross out, so that I'm inspired by this, cross out and write your answer. And I mean, it's total mental work for me because I haven't done math forever. Before I started teaching those kids, and I studied languages, so I was poor from math for many good years. Okay, so every lesson has. So we work a lot on the abacus, and I love that. Then you have a concept, you have games at the end, and in conclusion, there's always like, okay, so what did you remember of that? So I'm just reading that. How many digits do you need after the 4 to write 400? So it's just visual. You just have to, I'm trying to have them like let's try to go quick. Don't don't overwork it. It's just it just puts into like a conclusion. We conclude with a game, and then that little thing, and then it's our wrap up. Also, because it's Montessori, they don't tell you in this, but because I'm used to Montessori, I brought my kind of dirty carpet, but this is where we do math. So typically, we just sit on the floor. I put that out. They know this is the math carpet. When we are on the math carpet, the Playmobil right next to them does not exist. Even if I sometimes bring the Playmobil and it's about Play-Doh with story thing. But unfortunately, my schoolroom is in the playroom because I live in a small cabin. So sometimes it's complicated. So they know like this is it. Like all your mind is on the carpet. And it's very Montessori like, and normally, after in this classroom Montessori, you have to roll it like super nicely and then stack it up. But they know we have to do that, and then they put it away in the math drawer that I have. I don't know if you're familiar with the math balance. It's another tool that I think it's just so amazing. It's so simple and it's so efficient. Okay, I'm just gonna show that real quick. All of those manipulatives for me are just as fun to use. They are for the boys, but okay, I'm gonna show that. And there are worksheets, but I would say it's not every lesson. It's maybe every other. And I feel like because the lesson is so clear and so step by step, it's just one sheet, and in 5 minutes it's done. And I don't feel like they're spending, like hours on worksheets, or I don't know. I find worksheets very boring, and I'm glad that it's not every day, because I don't think that's where they do the most learning. Also, that times table, you feel like they have to do it again and again and visually write it down again and again, but not every kid. Like my youngest, I don't think Wells kids upstairs. Wells kids like all together. Okay, to me it's super fun. I haven't done it anyway, but let's see. So everything needs to be the same left and right. So let's see. I have 10 here. And so now those kids are too big to learn that, but we're also going to use that for times table. So I give them two little, I don't know what they're called, but little weights, and I say, so with those two, can you do 10 here? Like you have to use the two. So if there is just one, you would do that. So they have to think of weights. That's when you learn your math facts to 10 and then to 20. So let's see, if I put 1 here, I know I'm missing a 9, and then everything is balanced. Actually, I'm missing, what happened to that? There is an extra little weight here to balance things out. Oh, I don't have it. Okay, I just came back from Illinois. I was hoping I didn't lose something. There are just 3 little things that you can adjust, but I swear when it's there, it's perfectly lined up. And they know without me telling them they are right. So then we have to explore, like it's super fun. So they know like, okay, so let's move here. If I do 2, then it's going to be too heavy because 2 plus 9 is 11. But if I bring the 9 to 8, then it's all straight up again. So it's super visual, but it's just so easy to learn. I feel like you can explain math in a complicated way with tons of words, and then when you just see it, it's like, well, I don't need to talk about it. This is, like so obvious. So this is fun. Okay, I had little notes of stuff I like and the pros and cons. Their idea is that it's 95% you understand and 5% you learn. So you understand, and then there's very little memorization in that curriculum, which to me is the best. There's minimum prep time. The only thing I need to really prep, I do read through the lesson the night before, so I know what we're going to talk about. The only thing is when there's a new game, so there's a whole, I mean, honestly, if you just buy that and you don't want to follow the curriculum, but I guess you still need the cards. This is like the best, because there's card games for everything, like multiplication, addition, subtraction, and whatnot. I haven't even halfway explored, but there's money cards, fraction cards, club cards. We learned reading the time with those cards, which is great. And the games are very well explained. They tell you the objective, how many players, how do you lay out, and how you play. And this is the minimum prep time, and that's where I spend the most time. If some games don't look so obvious to me, then I ask my advice to my husband, like, did I get this right? And yeah, and then the next morning I'm ready to go. You don't want to read the rules while your kids waiting, because it's just a waste of time. What else do I like about it? I think I would say most of the same. So I would say the cons. Well, as I said, it's a very long book. And if you like to work by, by the end of the school year, I need to finish it, good luck. But to me, because I'm going to go through all the grades, I feel like I don't have to stress about it. We'll finish it when we finish it, and it's okay. And I don't feel like we're behind. We just did the math test, and both of them are boys are standard. So I'm trying not to stress about what's going on at school. Because we're moving at a different pace here. But it's, as you say, it's embedded. It's just so well done that I know no worries that they'll have excellent math level by the time they get to high school if we continue with that. The little thing is, so if you have 2 kids or more, that could be overwhelming. Like if they are close in age, I would say 2 grades apart, I would say let's just do it together. But if you have more than 2 kids, it takes some time. So like the lesson, I am the teacher, so I'm guiding them through. They're not working by themselves. So that's why my other kid is also doing Oak Meadow. And by now in 4th grade, he has to work by himself. I just read on Monday, I read the lesson with him through, and then he knows what he has to do for the week. But sometimes I say, hey, come and do a game with us. And I'm trying also to do with him a few lessons a week, but I just don't stress about like doing the whole thing. I aim 2 or 3 lessons with each a week, and then the rest I do my own. But it's just me, crazy, doing too many things. But the reason why I like the Oak Meadow, just briefly, is because it's just like everything is just pretty. I like pretty math books. So like we did that last week. So he was reviewing times table 2 and 4, and we have a little pegboard. It looks like a clock, but there's only 10 numbers from 0 to 9, and so you have little nails in the board that we built. That was a little craft project with Oak Meadow, and then like the times table 2, it creates a geometrical shape, and every times table has a different geometrical shape, which I didn't know, and it's just so pretty. And then when he learns that, he can just keep count, and he's learning. And so with the string, you can go however long. So with the 4, it makes a beautiful 5-star. And I mean, the timetable 3 is beautiful. It just goes everywhere. Timetable 9, it just goes all the way around. Anyway, that's why I like the Oak Meadow, because with this, it's just worksheet. To me, at the end of the year, I like to see, what are the beautiful things with it. A worksheet to me it's just, it's just everybody's worksheet looks the same. This is kind of unique, and we work on patterns. So, I make him do. I just make up patterns. So I just start something, and he just continues. I do a 2 or 3, and then he continues. So anyway, all of our pages are pretty, and that's also why I like to complement Right Starts with Oak Meadow for that reason, because I like at the end of the year to see that we've done something beautiful. Because with the games, I mean, it's like you cannot touch the knowledge. You know it's there, or you're hoping it's there, but you can feel it. So, what else? Oh yeah, the one thing I don't like so much. So this is super pretty, your curriculum, like the front page and all. It looks those guys could work a little bit on design, it's good time. Because, with this one, especially the level C with Van, I borrowed it from here and it's an older version. And it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's barely bold pattern. It's just not attractive to the eye. Rather, there's a newer version that's doing it well. It's not that much better, but actually it's more visual for me who are, I need to see things. So, yeah, if you go for that, definitely don't get the old Ultra learning version. You want the latest version because the old ones are like kind of boring. In my time, more than my time. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Was it hard to align both curriculums?
Ogmedo
And
well, it's just on different stuff. But with Ogmedo, I know it gives me, because they're following the standard, so I know what to be expected. That's also kind of comfort zone to know that with Ogmedo, I'm like,
covering it.
okay, well, that's what we can cover. And I
And
mean,
then you
seriously,
look
with my youngest, I'm skipping a few lessons because I feel like he's gonna be bored today if I do this lesson. So I just skip. So because it goes from, it doesn't go by unit or like a session. It's like we do a little bit of addition, then we'll do a little geometry, and then they just use the calculator. So it's just like that. So I feel like if we've done enough of this multiplying thing, I'll go forward and then I can come back. It's not a big deal. But I go through everything, and I know, like, I started. When did we start this one? Actually, yeah, December. So, see, we did 20 lessons with my oldest since December, but it's okay. We'll get there. So, yeah, I'd say the plus is the games, tons of manipulatives, and I feel like it makes learning math just super easy.
I did this with my boys years
Yeah.
ago, but it was a learning curve for me because the way we learn math is totally different. So I told the boys, okay, if I like it, we'll do it. If mom gets frustrated, well, because they want to see abacus but that was challenging for me, changing the way I saw math. I learned a lot and like the visuals and whatever else on the games. But it took more time because I had to kind of relearn that new math way of thinking.
People forget about it, like, oh, this is the best thing for my kid, but if you have no idea what you're doing, and you hate it, you're lost, then it's not worth it.
Yeah,
because you can't do it either.
Yeah, but
You have to both like.
That's true, yeah. You need to have fun with the curriculum and stuff.
yeah.
I saw this morning because I was preparing for this and it is the last minute. Like I did not read the lesson yesterday and I was like, this is not good. I put myself, you need to read the lesson the day before because I don't like to improvise. It's just, yeah. So, yeah, you're welcome to take a look and answer whatever manipulative you want. I have no idea. What are your math curriculum? Are you, do you do a Matthew?
Matthew C.
Yeah,
Right.
okay,
I was using Okta as well.
okay. And so, and I love Ogmedo because it's all stories and funny things. But I don't know, I just feel like we could do more. Like I feel like, and it takes a little more work and prep because they don't give you that much, especially for the lower grades, it's not that much
Hands-on.
exercise or, like, I feel like they need more practice. And so that's why I say, oh, let's do that too.
So you started with both children, both
Yes.
middle and right
Yes.
start? Okay, from the
Yes.
beginning. Okay.
But Evan just followed us because he started following us
Oh.
way earlier, and that's probably why. I think from pre-K he was already, he's sitting with us and listening to what we're doing.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
That was our timer, Adrian. We're done.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect.
I have so many timers on this.
I know. There's a timer. Yep. I'm Well, thank you, this was.
Thank
really
you.
good.
That was great.
Yeah.
I like all those
Thank you.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
They're gonna
You
go
can
on
take
my-
now.
My
Yeah,
unending,
that was good.
my unending list of books that I want.
Nice.
Unending.
Yeah, I see what you mean by, like, the choice, like, you don't want to switch once you feel like it's working